Hello, everybody. Patrick Crimmins, along with my partner Ray Rogina, just a couple of guys. The podcast that you can find on YouTube, Facebook, and places unknown at this point in time. But today we're kind of excited. We're going to be talking about the podcast tour of Italy, which is October 11th to October 20th, by and through InterTrav, a St. Charles travel company. Ray, are you excited to get some more details about the big trip?
Ciao, come stai, Patrizio? Yes, I am.
I was told there'd be no math.
Very important that not only we focus on making sure we recruit as many of our friends as we can, because as you just said, we've already seen the document. We know how great the trip is structured, and we're going to hear a lot more detail here today. But I just think that going on a trip with friends and new friends just becomes a remarkable experience that you'll never forget. I had a wonderful time in Ireland, and I know that this trip will be exactly the same in terms of the relationships and the excitement and new places, new things to see, but nevertheless, a great time.
And we're still connected with the people that we went to Ireland with. We still have a WhatsApp. We still share stories and memes, and of course Kevin Ketchum is sharing the magazines, publications and things of that nature. So that is one of the benefits, that we remain friends and we remain as a group, and hopefully we can get as many people as possible from the Ireland trip to go with us to Italy. It's a very exciting trip. Again, you can go on the website, Group Trips and Travel, one word. That's the InterTrav website, grouptripsandtravel.com. And you can see the brochure for the trip. But if you watch this podcast, I think you're going to get all the detail you need about the trip itself. Ray and I will be...
Who are we going to be talking to today?
Well, I wanted to surprise everybody, but we're going to be talking with the more than famous Shay Clarke.
Not to be confused with Ray Clarke.
Ray Clarke, yes, Shay Clarke, man about town, bon vivant. You can find him at McNally's or places otherwise, and as well as Paul House from InterTrav. They're going to talk about the trip and the specifics of each day, tell us where we're going to go, what we're going to do a little bit, and talk about the trip generally. So we're looking forward to it. I hope you stay with us and enjoy the podcast as we discuss Italy and all things Italy. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
𝐕𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐴LT Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan 𝐕𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐴LT.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit 𝐕𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐴LT Booth on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
All right, we're back, and we're here with Shay Clarke and Paul House of InterTrav. And they're going to talk about another tour that just a couple of guys is involved with, and that tour is Exquisite Tuscany and Rome, scheduled for October 11th through the 20th. And we want to welcome both of you guys here and to talk a little bit about the trip. And let's start off, I think, if we could talk a little bit about InterTrav and what services you guys provide generally.
Okay. InterTrav, we are a custom group travel company. So we design group programs for organizations nationally, regionally, locally, mostly to international destinations throughout Europe. Some of the kind of examples, band tours, where we set up concerts for bands to play in Europe. A lot of brewery tours. So these breweries go over and they visit the oldest brewery in Europe or this or that. Down to military reunions where we take people back to where their parents, cities they liberated throughout Europe. So everything is kind of a customized, unique experience.
And your website, just so everybody is clear, Group Trips and Travel, one word, .com. Is that right, Paul?
That's the one. That's right.
Yes.
And you are obviously the same organization that helped just a couple of guys go to Ireland. Is that right?
Ireland, absolutely. Did you enjoy that?
We very much did. I can't speak for Ray, but I can speak for everybody that went on the trip. Everybody had a wonderful time.
And I must say, I followed it through your podcasts, which were very entertaining and really, really good. And I imagine that's what we're going to do on the Italian one as well.
And Ray and I will do some podcasting along the way, and we'll look at everything and talk to people and talk to our guests. Right, Ray?
That's right, Pat. First of all, Shay, it was a wonderful trip to Ireland. The Irish people are wonderful, and we had 10 glorious days in Ireland. To Pat's point and to your point about the podcast, the attempt here is to engage your customers and our friends that come along on a daily podcast in which we send a tape back to the mainland for Paul to digest and post, showing snippets, vignettes of, in this case, the Italian trip. And so we ask all of our participants whether they want to get involved or not. And if they do, we'll question them, we'll talk to them. As Pat knows, we also talk from time to time with the locals. And I'm sure, Pat, I'm sure we'll find numerous locals that will engage us in Italy.
And we
not
have
only that, but I'm sorry to interrupt, but not only that, but we have picked our #1 Italian guide for you. He is absolutely amazing, isn't he?
Yes.
He's absolutely the best.
On a scale, is he better than Jerry? Come on, you can't
Well,
say
Jerry's
that.
from Kerry, and in Ireland, he would be the Italian equivalent of Jerry.
Well,
so there you go.
Very
that'll work
He's
out
a
very well. And of course,
wonderful man.
early on in the trip, we'll be interviewing him to make sure we lay out for a foundation for the whole trip.
Well, and so everybody knows, our videographer 𝐂𝐮𝐬𝐿 will be coming with us, and he'll take these daily podcasts or vignettes, and also he'll be taking photos along the way. And I think at the end of the trip, Ray, am I correct? He provided everybody with 500 photos of the trip in some kind of a PDF folder that everybody could access, right?
Well, yes, as you recall, Shay said everybody should have a WhatsApp, and what that did was allow Kevin to post not only obviously the podcast, but pictures galore on the WhatsApp, so people could just take them, and now they have a memory book of the trip. So you can take your own pictures, but the fact remains, we'll provide a memory book of the entire trip.
And
WhatsApp allows your travelers to for free to take photographs, exchange them, to talk to their friends at home, to receive messages, as long as they have a Wi-Fi signal.
That's right. And everybody who was on the trip in Ireland spoke highly of Kevin's work and the idea of getting that book to take with them forever. So
he
Paul,
pays them, he pays them.
Yeah. Paul, I thought maybe we could talk about how you do these trips generally in terms of the specific logistics. People obviously sign up, they pay a certain amount, and they get the brochure that goes through the trip itself. But let's talk a little bit about the questions that most people have in terms of how much do you have to pay? When do you have to pay? Should I get trip insurance? All these questions.
Sure. Basically, we ask for a deposit. If you wish to come along on the trip, it's a first come, first served basis. So In the brochure, there's like a reservation form. I think it's a $500 deposit we ask for to put out. You fill out the form as much, all your information. If you wish to purchase the travel protection, we highly recommend it. That's a separate purchase. It's a great idea. It protects your travel purchase. So if you get sick, hurt a week beforehand, we've paid the hotel, we paid the airline, everything. And once you give the money to the airlines, they usually don't give it back, especially with the groups. So it's a great idea to purchase the travel protection. You usually need to buy that about 90 days out at the latest. So you don't have to buy it right away, and you don't have to buy ours. You can buy it from anybody. If you have a family member in insurance business, you can buy from them. And then approximately 90 days out, we will send out an invoice. You will be getting emails throughout the year, basically kind of touching on different things, where we're going, and different sites to maybe look up or try to keep you excited. But 90 days out, we'll send an invoice for full payment. We ask for a copy of your passport to make sure your ticket is correct on the for the airline, so you don't get stuck at the airport. And then a couple weeks out, 2 or 3 weeks beforehand, we'll do a what we call a document meeting, where we hand out our travel information, your flight schedules, hotels, all that. And if you have any questions, we answer them, talk about the currency and electricity and things like that as we go along.
Just so I'm clear, you talked about a deposit. What's the timing on that? I mean, we've got about 10 months until the trip. What's the timing?
Important. It would be very important to get your deposit in as quick as possible. Putting your deposit on the long finger, it just doesn't really work. If we're looking for people who are going to commit to coming on this trip, because otherwise we close the trip and they can't come.
Yeah, and when you say first come, first serve, how many people are you looking at in terms of the trip before you
make
close
it
it up?
Enjoyable, no more than 40. I mean, once you get more than 40 on a motor coach, it gets tight, and it's not as comfortable on the day trips that we do. So we like
That's
to
a
keep it
lot of
around
pasta, 40 people, huh?
Yeah, a
A
lot
lot
of
of pasta, a lot of wine, a lot of vino.
Well, what we wanted to do is we wanted to get to the fun part a little bit. And so Ray and I wanted to take you through the trip, kind of day by day a little bit, and you guys could highlight what it is that we're going to do.
Well, I'm going to start off, if you don't mind, with the front cover of the brochure, because I think it's very important. And then I'll let Paul bring you to traveling from Chicago. So the front cover of the brochure, basically, just a couple of guys and InterTrav invite you to experience exquisite Tuscany and Rome, which is exactly what we're going to do. In the highlights, which is in a box with all the photographs, 2 nights in the heart of Tuscany. That's in San Gimignano, which is an absolutely stunningly wonderful place. It's one of my favorite places to stay, right? And the hotel that you're staying in, I've stayed in myself several times. I absolutely love it. So have my family at this stage. And then that's ancient San Gimignano. There are, 7 towers? It's just quite amazing. The little narrow streets, cobblestones, and everything about it is just wonderful, right? Italian cooking classes, vineyard visits. I'm going through these fast because Paul is going to give you a little bit more detail on them as we get to them. But the cooking classes are amazing. Everybody seems to absolutely love it. Vineyard visits would be more up my cup of tea, not a cup of tea. Elegant Montecatini Terme. That's the reason that I'm here with Paul, is because I have never been to Montecatini Terme. I know of it for many, many years, but I've never been. Florence, I love. That's where we're going to. Cinque Terre, which is the Italian Riviera. Magnificent Rome, the Vatican City. All the way we have first-class hotels, deluxe motor coach, round-trip flights to and from Chicago. I mean, the plan is really well put together, and I think the price is great too. But there you go. It's a fabulous tour. Very proud of it, I am.
All right, Ray, maybe we could start with the first day of the trip.
Well, I know this much. It was very well organized from Ireland, and it looks to me like the same setup here, Paul House, that we're going to be out of O'Hare on a Sunday afternoon and arriving in Rome the next morning. Am I correct?
Yes, nonstop on American Airlines, straight into Rome. When you arrive, you will meet Leandro. He'll be with you the whole time. He takes care of you. He's, like I said, as Shay said, he is fantastic. And that first day on the 12th, when we arrive in Rome, we get on our motor coach and head up to Tuscany to the Val d'Orcia, which is probably the most beautiful part of Tuscany, in my opinion. You see the cypress trees, the rolling hills, and we'll hit a vineyard on the way up, right between Montepulciano and Pienza. There's a gorgeous vineyard there. We'll have some wine tasting with the Montepulciano red wines. Learn about the Pienza cheese, the famous Pienza cheese, which I can't pronounce the name of, and have some snacks, some bruschetta, cheese, salami, all different things with the wine tasting. It's absolutely fantastic before getting to our hotel that night, where we'll have dinner. And Shay's had dinner many times on the patio there.
The patio of the hotel, there's a swimming pool out on the patio. There's an indoor dining room, of course, as well. Sorry, please excuse me, I didn't turn my phone off. But the patio there is just wonderful. In the background, you have the 7 towers of San Gimignano. It's just stunning. And the town itself, even better. But the hotel is, like I said, at least 2 times I've stayed in it. Beautiful hotel.
If I could add here the fact that, and Paul said it very well at the beginning, we're headed to Tuscany, the Tuscan region of Italy. I've taken upon myself, because I have a feeder on my Facebook page. I've been posting Tuscan pictures galore, and I think anybody who is a Facebook friend of mine knows that they have seen the beauty of Tuscany. And to a point that I think that my partner Pat said earlier when we were planning this trip, we're headed to an area, as I understand it, and I view it on in pictures, a nice quaint region where you can just let yourself go a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more out of the way, as opposed to the hustle and bustle. Not that we're not going to see some hustle and bustle in Florence and in Rome, but these smaller areas here, to me, have so much charm, have so much to say about Italy itself.
This is a good opportunity, I think, Paul, to talk a little bit about the money in terms of what it includes. Now, obviously you've got the hotels are included, right? Airfare's included.
Airfare.
And what about meals?
Where do they go? 13 meals. Breakfast each morning at the hotel. Their buffet breakfast is slightly different. Each hotel is obviously going to be a little bit different. Then we have 5 evening dinners. I know we have a cooking class dinner in Tuscany, in one of the most amazing places you'll ever go in your entire life, in my opinion. And another fantastic dinner in Rome at the unique restaurant. It used to be an old Roman jail. You'll have roving musicians playing, and more food and wine than you can
shake a stick at.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Paul and Shay, let me ask this question here, and Pat makes a good point. The meals that are included. Now, the days that there is not a meal included, I can assume that there's going to be absolutely no problem.
No.
Just roaming into the various communities that we're in and finding a great Italian meal somewhere, someplace.
Yeah, that will be, your guide will look after all of that for you. First of all, you do have breakfast every single day, and breakfast over there, a bit like, well, different than Ireland, but still plenty of it. So you leave your hotel full for the day, maybe a little cafe at lunchtime, some wine and some pasta if you like, and then dinner. Either we have it arranged, or you'll already have broken into small groups of 3s, 4s, 6s, 8s, and will do your own thing. It depends. But
so the worst meal of the trip would probably be the one that you cook yourself. Is that fair?
Yeah. Well, when I would the cooking class with my wife, she kept getting my pasta that I rolled. So, it was more square. It wasn't really round, but but they cook it. It was still tasted fantastic. It was just, a funny looking piece of spaghetti.
All right, let's segue into the second day of the trip, which I believe is Tuesday. And again, I'm gonna have some trouble.
I'm going to go through. I'll do that with you if you don't mind.
Okay.
Tuesday, October 13th, San Gimignano. It says here, and I'm just quoting, "Today we visit the ultimate Tuscan hill town of San Gimignano, a virtually untouched medieval city-state where time seems to have stood still since the Middle Ages." That is the best description of it I can come up with. It is stunningly beautiful. I never want to leave it when I go there. It's a walled city completely. It talks about the 14 towers.
Yeah, what are the 14 towers? What is that?
They're dotted all over the place. They're beautiful. You can go up them if you like. But as you go into the town, there's a wall, and you sit. Most people sit on that wall and have their photograph taken of the beautiful rolling hills of Tuscany that spread out underneath you. And then you get up and walk into San Gimignano itself. At the very top of the walk, right, the highest point in San Gimignano is what he claims to be the best Italian ice creamery in the world. And I'm never going to argue with that man. It's absolute. The line outside will tell you it's stunningly beautiful place. I can't say enough about San Gimignano. It's one of my favorite places in all of Italy. But
is it a touristy place generally?
Yeah, I am sure it is because it's so beautiful. But I've never noticed it jam packed. But that's because we go when schools are back, when the people are gone back to work and back to school, the kids and all of that kind of stuff. We go in the shoulder season, which is less crowded.
So it would be this day of the trip, we would do our cooking class, right?
Yes.
So bring snacks, as they say.
In San Gimignano, again, food's fantastic. Beautiful little cafes all along the ancient roads. Then we'll take you to basically it's a farm, it's a vineyard. They have their own cattle. They make their own olive oil and wine. Again, it's on a hill across the valley from San Gimignano, on the opposite side from where your hotel is. And there you meet Sarah. She's the English-speaking member of the family, and you'll do the cooking class. You'll learn to make pasta. You'll enjoy their wine, and then the food there is absolutely amazing. I've been going there since 2000. I think 2000, the first year I've been there, and I can't wait to go back every time I leave because it's fantastic.
I have to say to you that there are some people who have ordered both olive oil and wine from this vineyard. One of them has a restaurant and serves that Italian wine in her restaurant, right? Her name happens to be Phoebe. I know you both know her. But she bought her wine there. I mean, not just a few bottles for herself, but bottles for her business.
All right, Ray, why don't you take us through the 14th of October, Wednesday?
Well, the town of Siena, I have never been to, and I'm going to let Paul give me some descriptors, but I will tell you this. Every person I've ever talked to about Siena basically says it's a wow factor. And I have seen the pictures of the Piazza del Campo and the horse races they have there in July and August. I know we'll be there in October, but anyway, enough said. Give us a little bit more of the flavor.
Let me go.
Yeah, if you like.
Siena. It's an absolutely amazing city. First, you'll see the oldest bank in the world as you walk into the city. And you'll be walking under what I can explain as the ancient bridges that connect from one alleyway to the other. You'll have a local guide that kind of comes in. You'll probably, depending on how many people, may have two local guides. They take you in and they explain to you about the poly, the horse race they have in the Piazza Campo. And as you're walking through, you see on the corners, there's different emblems, different
coats of arms.
And you'll see the different parts of the city, and then they explain how all that works, and where you're at, and the importance of the Campo. And then when you get down to that square there, it's absolutely incredible. And we also see the Duomo, the largest cathedral one of the largest cathedral in Italy. And again, it's so big and it's stuck right in the city. You really can't get a great picture of the front of it because you can only go so far back, and it's so large. But it's another amazing site right there.
I was wondering if Paul Stukel had any money in the oldest bank in Siena. Is it? Well,
this is one of the mysteries of life.
Actually, I owe them money, as it turns out.
Them money.
Yeah.
Oh, those fees they build. So then we're going to have dinner at the hotel that night. Is that right?
From Siena, we make our way up to Montecatini Terme, which is farther northern part of Tuscany, and we have dinner at a hotel that night in Montecatini, which is a very elegant kind of a spa town. So after dinner, you can go to the spa, take to the Italian waters to get rid of all your ailments, which so you come back 10 times better than you left.
So bring your suit is what I'm hearing.
Yes, bring your suit. Because
nobody wants to see Pat in his jeans.
You can also
Well,
buy Italian swimsuit, which are a little bit different than
Yeah.
ours.
I've seen those. Yeah, they're a little bit different. Now, I
I
take
think
it
you
we're
should be
still.
looking at wetsuits.
I take it we're still in the same hotel this whole time. Is
Oh,
that right?
no.
No, we
No, we
switched
li-
hotels
Oh, we switched
on the
hotels.
way to
Okay.
Montecatini from San Gimignano to Montecatini.
Okay. So
So
then
Monday and Tuesday night, we were in the beautiful hotel in San Gimignano. Now we left San Gimignano this morning to move along.
Okay.
We're now looking at 4 nights,
4 nights in Montecatini, Terme.
which means
Nice.
you can unpack your suitcase and
Relax.
forget about it for a while.
Little leisure, because sometimes you're like old luggage. You
Yeah, I
get,
know.
unpack, pack, you're on the bus all day long. Nobody likes that. So here we have a little chance to immerse. Is that right?
Yes, indeed. Not only that, but remember, you have the best Italian guide that we have. He's unbelievable.
Leonardo.
Leonardo. I've invited him to come over and visit, like many people have, and he may come in the spring. And if he does, we'll have a meeting here in InterTrav, and we'll introduce you and whoever's coming to him. I've got my fingers crossed he's
We
coming.
did that with the Ireland trip, and we had an informational meeting. We'll have that as well at some point in time between
Yeah.
now and the timeline, so that everybody can get more information, ask questions
Sure,
about
never a
Euros and
problem.
all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still in the same general geography. We're Thursday the 15th, and we're going to Pisa, correct?
Yes. We'll travel from Montecatini. I think it's about an hour maybe on the coach to Pisa. We'll see the Leaning Tower, see the amazing basilica there. So everybody can, hold up the Leaning Tower. Everybody gets behind it and kind of pushes a little bit more. And it's you stand in the Field of Miracles, so we get to explore there. And then on our way home, we'll stop in the town of Lucca, which is another walled city, which is just the walls are amazing. Now they're a big park in between the walls. And it's just we'll go through there and do a walking tour through Lucca and see the incredible Pisan architecture and the cathedrals and things like that. It looks just like similar to what we'll see in Pisa. But then we make our way back to Montecatini, where you have the evening free to go explore and have dinner on your own. There's many restaurants there that 𝐿eandro can also tell you which ones are the best.
Go ahead, Trey. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with everything Paul said.
So, yeah, when you talk about having an evening free or a day free, which may happen, we're entitled to do whatever we want, go anywhere we want within, I would say reason in terms of safety, et cetera. But, you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, eat wherever you want, eat with whomever you want, that kind of thing, right?
It's very nice because at this stage you've been there, people have been there. They kind of know their way around. They know what they like. They know what's within walking distance of your hotel, or even a cab if 3 or 4 of them want to do it together. But and you have Leandro who will tell you the best places, and that's always key.
Yeah.
And if I could simply add something, and I'm comparing it back to the Ireland trip that you guys had staged, you do provide a lot of free time. That's the nice beauty of this whole thing. I mean, there's certainly structure to it in seeing these highlights and being able to get into places that normally you would maybe stand in line or whatever the case may be. And that particularly is true when we get to the Vatican and so on. But the fact of the matter, as Pat has alluded to, is there's time in smaller groups to just enjoy the town, the scenery, the ambiance of the whole place.
You can imagine that the temptation for people like myself and Paul is to put as much into a tour as possible, just to load it, right? And then you have to listen to the people coming back and saying, hey, we didn't have time to do this, that, and the other. So basically, we listened to people and have done and will do. And what they wanted was to take it a little bit easier. Obviously, they want to see the principal places, which they certainly are in this case, but we've given them free time to enjoy these places.
And the free time is also fun because you get to absorb the culture a little bit, talk to the locals and that kind of thing. And I think also, Ray, I speak for you here, the free time also allows the other guests to buy us drinks. Isn't it?
They may have, yes.
We should
no
put
restriction.
That in the brochure.
There's no restriction on that.
Yes, absolutely.
Before or after the podcast, of course. All right, so we're segueing then, Ray, to Florence on the Friday before the weekend.
Or as
Yeah,
the
I'm going to
local,
take.
obviously the Italians say 𝐉𝐮𝐬𝐿.
They
Florence.
do indeed.
And of course,
They speak funny over there, Ray. I swear.
well, yeah, they do. Let me just say this. I've been to Florence once. I'm so excited to go back. I can't tell. I
Oh.
can't say enough about reading the document, what you've outlined for the guests. You hit the highlight. To go to see the David, to go to the Duomo. I'm hoping we'll have a time to go down to the Ponte Vecchio, the bridge, because that is a scene in and of itself with people selling various things. But anyway, it's a wonderful, remarkable city.
I'm going to give you the day. That day, it's Friday, the 16th. If we go from Montecatini Terme to Florence, Julius Caesar founded the colony of Florentia in the 1st century on the north bank of the Arno River, right? Today, the city occupies both banks of the Arno River and is famous for its art treasures and glorious history. We begin with a visit to the Galleria dell'Accademia to view Michelangelo's statue of David. Afterwards, we'll explore the heart of the city, beginning with a visit to the magnificent cathedral and see the neighboring baptistry of St. John with its famous bronze doors. From here, we'll stroll along the Via dei 𝐂𝐮𝐬𝐿. I'm sorry, I'm lost on that one. That was yours, Paul. And pause to admire the Piazza della Signorina, with its wonderful backdrop formed by the old palace's powerful presence, before ending with a visit to the unforgettable Ponte Vecchio, which is your favorite, one of mine too, the oldest surviving bridge in the city, built in 1345. And we'll soon find out walking the streets of Florence is like taking a voyage back in time. We stop at the Piazza Michelangelo as we leave Florence for a spectacular view over the city. We enjoy dinner at a local restaurant that evening. So that's it. That's Florence for you. I usually do that stop before we go in, but we're doing it on the way out. It makes no difference, as long as we get it in.
The Anja may switch it around, put it in there. And it's Florence is the most incredible city in Italy, because it's small, it's walkable in a day, no problem. And the sights are amazing. In the Piazza della Signoria, look at there's a statue there, the Rape of the Sabine is the most incredible statue you see, because there's one block of granite and you see impressions from hands on the body. I don't know how it did that, but it's an incredible.
Is that what the fountain is?
It's on the other side of the fountain, in the little porch area.
I would see
and then we'll have dinner in the countryside on our way back. A fantastic restaurant on the way out. Right past the U.S. military cemetery as we make our way back to Montecatini. About 45-minute drive from Florence. So it's
a lot of these motorways that we're on, and we're on quite a few of them if you look at the map that's in the brochure. And again, the brochure is available online right now, and I'm sure when you have a meeting, you'll be handing them out too. Yeah. But the incredible thing about Italy is the stops along the highway. On the highway where the coach stops to get gas. The shopping that is done in these places is as much as there is done in Florence and Rome. It's a great place to buy your gifts and stuff like that. It's outrageous. Everybody remarks on it, right? While the bush is...
Jay, I'll second that. I'll second that. Yeah. Absolutely. Not to mention the fact that you, get a little coffee along the way as well. The espresso is wonderful.
Oh, it is.
Well, I think this is actually October 16th is Sweetest Day, is it not?
Could be.
So guys are going to have to think about that if you're bringing along your significant others. This is also, Ray, if I'm correct, this will be the World Series, the Cubs, and I don't know who, but it's October baseball.
Yeah, it's October baseball, but the World Series doesn't start till after we get back. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
You'll be able to see.
I knew Ray would have checked that out already.
You'll be able to see the A's. Don't worry about it.
Then we head into Cinque Terre, Saturday the 17th.
That's yours.
Tell me a little bit about that.
We'll leave day trip basically up from Montecatini to the Cinque Terre. We'll stop and you can only get to the Cinque Terre by water or by the train. So either by a boat or train. We'll board the train, which is much nicer than taking the boat because the boat stops at the bottom of the cliffs. We stop in the middle of the town in the train. We'll get out and see some of the beautiful cities, Manarola, Vernezia. And so you'll see some of the ancient towns that are just clinging to the side of these cliffs. Leandro, who's well versed in taking groups there, will show you all the different spots in the Cinque Terre. We also have a chance, if you wish to do, you can walk along the Path of Love. I can't remember the name of it now.
The
Italian,
Path of Love. Watch yourself.
Lamar, I believe it is, and it's a special ticket just to get on there because it's a beautiful scenery and a gorgeous walk. If you want to do the hiking on it, and we'll take basically a full day of this being in a place where no one can get to other than by the boats, and time has not stood still there.
Paul House, I will
makes...
just tell you that I have posted numerous pictures of the Cinque Terre, and one picture is just more gorgeous than the other. The colors of the houses, again, along the cliffs in the Mediterranean, I'm telling you something, it's magical.
It's hard to think about, but it's actually really nice to think about sunshine on a day like today, coldest day I've ever had in my life. I think it's like,
yeah. Oh, this is nothing, Shay.
You should have been there in the 80s.
yes, exactly. Yesterday was the anniversary of the coldest day. I think it was 27 below, not wind chill, below.
What year was that?
1985.
When I came in 1987, so there you go.
See?
Oh Lordy, don't
you
be
brought
bringing
the
me
warmth,
back.
Shay. You brought the warmth. Well, then let's segue, Ray, if we could, into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and our way home after we go to Rome.
Roma and the eternal city. I'll tell you, I mean, the fact that we're going to have a morning in the Vatican, the fact that we're going to go see the Colosseum, the fact that we're going to see this the Trevi Fountain, those things in and of themselves enough. But I'm sure you have a lot more here, and I'm looking forward to going back to Rome.
Yeah, me too. Rome has always been my favorite European capital, more so than Paris, even though I do love Paris and I love London as well. But for the sake of it, Rome is my favorite.
Now we're going to be there.
Where are we going?
On Sunday. Are we going to be there for a mass or anything like that, or no?
No, we drive down. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from Montecatini down to Rome. On arrival, we kind of do our city tour. So we visit the Colosseum.
The Colosseum, the Trevi Fountain, and of course, what was the other one? The Pantheon. And all the other places as well. I mean, it's a driving around tour, right? Then you can have your choice of beautiful restaurants and bars and fabulous stuff. If you were missing a decent pint of Guinness, there's one called Scholars, right? There are about 10 Irish bars there, but Scholars won the Irish Pub of the Year internationally about 10 years ago. Yeah.
Will Ray have an opportunity to get his White Sox hat and shirt signed by Pope Leo?
This is an optional extra.
Yes,
and you have to speak to Leandro.
Yes. That's a good point, Shay. For a guy like myself who doesn't drink wine, obviously everything will be provided. It's not just wine. Is that fair?
Peroni is a great, there's a few others as well, but Peroni, if you like a lager, is as good as any, right? Yeah. I personally balance between the wine and beer when I'm out there. I wouldn't be able to drink too much wine, but I could certainly down quite a lot of the Peroni. It's very good.
Yeah. Then one of the things I wanted to ask was what kind of physicality is involved in this trip in terms of is there a lot of walking, not too much walking compared to Ireland? Where are we?
There'll be less than Ireland, I would imagine.
We'll say, if you go through each day, like San Gimignano, you can't get a car inside the city. So you do have to walk up through the city that you can't transfer it in. In all the cities like Florence, they do have traffic restrictions now. So if you drive your car through Florence, they give you a ticket. Sometimes they send you 4 of them in the mail when you do that on accident. So we do have to stop at certain spots where we could, get off. We get you as close as possible, but in some of the days, a little more walking than the others. But
and I would have to admit that my last time in Italy, I did a lot of sitting down in little tavernas waiting for the crowd to come back. I'm quite comfortable doing that, and nobody seemed to miss me anyway. But certainly, I can't do hills very well, and San Gimignano is on a hill. This is the curious thing about the Italians. All their cities are built at the top of the hill. I prefer the Swiss. They built their villages down below in the valleys, right? Suits me fine.
No, I was just going to ask Paul House to take us through the Vatican on the last morning.
Yeah.
That's probably a very important focal point to finish our tour.
Yes, we'll go start in the Vatican museums. So we'll go through and tour the Vatican museums. Leandro will be taking you through there. Leandro, what's nice about him, he's a certified Rome guide and a certified Vatican guide, I believe. So we don't have to bring a local one in. He's an expert on that. We'll go into the Vatican museums, see the amazing art as we go through the different rooms, ending up in the Sistine Chapel. So to see that incredible chapel there. I always recommend, and I'm not sure, I haven't been there in a while, they used to have benches along the walls to try to get to the wall, get a bench so you can look up and see the ceiling instead of standing in the middle of the floor and looking up and getting a little dizzy. So we'll start off in the museums, then we come out of the museums in about a 4-minute walk maybe. We'll enter St. Peter's Basilica, and then Leandro will take you through there. We see the La Pieta, you'll see is it the statue of Moses, and then the tomb of Saint John Paul. And that's basically going to be a 4-hour tour. So most of the morning there to get the whole Vatican experience, and then we kind of give you a little in the afternoon free to do shopping up and down in the Vatican area, or go over to the Spanish Steps, which is not that far of a walk from the Vatican. And our hotel should be situated right between the two of the Vatican and the Spanish Steps area, that you will see on the day before the Spanish Steps. And then that night we go to the tavern for the final dinner.
I would like to mention here that you're concerned about some people that we don't even know who's traveling yet, who may not be able for some of the longer walks. This is something that Leandro will be looking at during the course of the week. So by the time you get to Rome, he will already have picked out the ones who need a little bit of attention, and he will adjust the tour to suit them, or tell them to sit down for a little while and he'll come back and get them, that type of thing. I've seen him do it before.
And just so we're clear, the tour, the 4-hour tour at the Vatican, things like that, are those extra costs for everybody? Or are they included?
They're included.
They're included. All the sightseeing listed in the brochure is included.
All right. The cooking class, I don't have to bring my own pasta.
The wine,
No,
yeah.
Okay. All right, and then Ray, we're bringing it home, I guess.
Well, all I know is after a long trip, a nice smooth ride home is good. And the nice thing about that is we leave Rome in the morning, and as I understand it, Paul House,
you get home in the afternoon.
Home early afternoon.
Yeah, should be home around 2-3 o'clock if you remember correctly. You'll leave. It'll be an early flight out, so you have to get up early in the morning and get to the airport a little bit. But it's 8-hour flight home maybe, and then you'll get back here about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and
it's not much different from Ireland when you think about it.
Right.
An 8-hour trip home, you leave early in the morning, you get in around 2. It's about the same as the Irish trip.
And then Shay, we're all going over to McNally's for the last blow.
I'm glad to hear it. I was just thinking, I mean, this is great, and we're getting this. You'll be getting this out to a lot of people, but we will arrange obviously a night either here or in McNally's, or you have another place, an Italian restaurant that Paul was looking at for you.
Sure.
To have an event.
All right, so let's talk about that. It's $4,395 a person, double occupancy. With American Airlines, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you can use your mileage? if you have it.
If you want to use your mileage, we got you can do it, but we can't set it up for you when it comes to mileage. You got to do your own air, and we just take the airfare off the price,
Right.
and then but you can
The airline would look after
yeah.
that.
And so
Sure.
we tell you book these flights so you're with the group, and you can use your mileage, or you can get mileage while you're traveling if you don't have enough for those flights.
And I think a relevant question here is, are you familiar with the weather in Italy mid-October?
That's most of the time. Most of the time I've spent in Italy has been in mid-October. I've actually been on the first weekend in November, and it's just gorgeous as far as I'm concerned. It's certainly it's not too cold, it's not too warm. It's perfect touring weather.
So it's fallish.
Yeah,
Yes.
have a Google and you'll see what the average is. I imagine they'll say at the
mid 60s.
mid 60s to mid 70s.
Okay. Ray, do you have any questions?
I do not. Wonderful explanation of our experience that we look forward to having in Rome, in Florence, in Lucca, etc., 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 Tuscany. I look forward to it. I look forward to hosting and working with all of our new tourist friends and some of our old friends from Ireland that I know will be joining us as well.
Wonderful. And I'll tell you something, that we here at InterTrav are here to answer any questions between now and then, especially from the new people who are not familiar with us anymore.
Right. So it's grouptripsandtravel.com for the website and the brochure. You can get all your questions answered there. I think we also have a FAQ page, so they talk a little bit in more detail about euros and all that kind of stuff that people might ask about. And obviously they can call InterTrav and talk to you guys directly if they have questions. But the truth of the matter is you want to get that reservation form filled out. You want to get that deposit on record, and then you're ready to go, right?
Yeah. So you don't miss out, because if you get 40 signed up for you, then you obviously won't be able to come along.
We'll try and get 40 by Friday, Paul.
Friday. Okay.
All right. Well, I think, Ray, I'm done. You don't have any more questions. We're going to come back with close, but we wanted to thank Paul House, Shay Clarke, and everybody at InterTrav for giving us a detailed information about the trip itself. Again, that's October 11th to October 20th, 2026. Exquisite Tuscany and Rome. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Ray, you heard the details as well as I did. What an exciting trip it sounds like. It's unfortunate that Shay probably won't be going with us, but maybe Paul House will show up for part of the trip, and maybe Paul Stukel if we can talk him into it.
Or as they say in Italian, Paolo.
You got to talk with
not to confuse with your name, Patrizio.
See, the Spanish and the Italian, they're both Romance languages.
Well, I'm concerned that before we go, that you do a small tutorial on Italian words so that you feel comfortable with it. Arrivederci means goodbye. Andiamo means let's go, and I know we'll be saying that quite a bit when we're andiamo.
Patricio, Milano.
Yeah, and of course, ciao to say hello. How are you? Come sta, and
well, I do have, as Carol Bannon can attest, I do have 4.5 years of Spanish. So
I'm convinced that you'll be able to work your way through that and use a little Spanish/Italian, and you'll be a hit before we leave.
Next thing you know, you don't see Pat until you're back at O'Hare Airport.
Well, I hope that's not the case. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway,
What happened to
no,
Crimmins?
yeah. No, it'll be a great trip, I guarantee it. And I'm hoping that again, friends that we had from Ireland and new friends that would like to make this trip. And by the way, I should address this concern because there are some people who really want to see Italy, but, and it's the big but, there's a little concern about, an 8-hour flight, and they're a little nervous about that. Uh, you can fall asleep real quickly. There's ways to fall asleep very quickly on a plane and not wake up until you get to Roma. So I'm just saying, don't let that bother you. If you only go around once here, and this is a magical country, and you'll enjoy it. And we're taking your pitch from earlier. That is, we're going into the countryside. We're going into the smaller towns. And that's where I think there's going to be a lot of flavor that exists here. And that's why I really think this trip here is better. It's going to be better than the one I went on. And I went to Venice, and I really love Venice. But
Right.
I think this Tuscan trip, Under the Tuscan Sun, name of a book, is going to be marvelous.
If you have any sleep-related questions, I believe Ray is also a sleep consultant for InterTrav. But yeah, you have been there. I wanted to talk about that. You've been there once, twice?
Just once, and but it was all encompassing and involving a number of cities. In addition to a return to Firenze, Florence, and Roma. I went to Venice. I went to Assisi. I went to the island of Capri and Naples down south. It was an all-encompassing, and a little bit to the Amalfi Coast. So yes, this is much more confined. And in some respects, I think it's going to be just as good, if not better.
Yeah. Well, it sounds wonderful. As I said, it might fall on Sweetest Day, and your lovely wife is coming with us, and she's excited, I would think.
Oh, well, she's half Italian, and so absolutely, you don't talk to her twice about going back to Italy. So
Yeah.
we'll make sure we take care of Sweetest Day.
2 out of my 3 kids have been to Italy, and they spoke highly of it. But that was, with those high school trips
Right.
where you spend a half an hour, you wave like Chevy Chase at the at the canal, and then you move on to the next trip. Like you said, we're going to be spending some significant time kind of immersing ourselves in the local culture, which is going to be fun, I think. We get to make some food, which I know that you like to do. Heating and boiling pasta is pretty much my limit. But I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I think, Pat, once you come back from Italy, you'll have a newfound respect for Italian cuisine. And I think you'll also have a newfound respect for the pairing of some wine with the Italian cuisine. And while you're admitting that wine is not your main cup of tea, I think you'll appreciate it a little bit more after this trip.
I can drink sangria, but
Well,
there's something about wine that
we're going to be in a different
causes.
mode than sangria on this trip. I can.
Well, yeah, I'm just telling you, wine I cannot drink without stomach problems. So we'll figure it all out. My digestive problems are not anybody's concern.
That's exactly right.
Let's not spend any more time on that.
Please.
So we enjoyed our talk with Paul House and Shay Clarke, as always. As we indicated during the podcast, there'll be a meeting or two along the way. We've got 10 months before this thing goes off. Obviously, you want to get on the website, get the forms, have them filled out, and get your deposit on, so that we know that you're committed and that you're coming. Because you know how popular Ray is. They'll be swamping at the door, looking to get on this trip. Crimmins is going. That might cause more people to not go than to actually come. But hopefully it'll all work out. Anyways, Ray, any final thoughts regarding the trip?
No, I think we expressed about everything we needed to express about this trip. It's time to say arrivederci.
Arrivederci. All right, for Ray, for Paul Stukel, for the absent Kevin Ketchum, I'm Patrick Crimmins, and this is just a couple of guys. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. I want to thank the sponsors, as always. We look forward to seeing you again. Our next podcast is after Ray gets back from his travels, and Ray, will see you in April.
Okay, Pat.
All right, take care. Thank you, everybody.